So the reason, why this the method of exchanging self for others is more kind of profound and powerful, is we can understand from the by looking at this the difference between these two methods for generating bodhicittas. So, like for example, one of the difference is in terms of how, like in according to the sevenfold cause and effect, then the way we cultivate like a love and compassion for all other beings is through recognizing like all other sentient beings as your mothers, like just as we our current life mothers, so we recognize all other beings as one's mother, and just as how we can recognize and acknowledge the kindness and the affection and all the support that we have, or care that we have received from the current mothers. So when we also remember in same way, remembering the all receiving the same from all other sentient beings as our mothers, and so therefore this somehow then in this way we cultivate, we feel a sense of great a gratitude by remembering their kindness, and so it is through that way we connect ourselves with all other beings, and then begin to begin to feel our love and compassion for others. Now, however, it is said that in the when we apply the second method for exchanging the method of exchanging the self for others, then it is said that where we cultivate the love and compassions and remembering the kindness of all other sentient beings, not only when they were they have been one's mother, but even when they haven't been one's a mother. So whether they've been mother or not, but still through that method we recognize their the kindness of all other sentient beings.
Dorje nyoje sene jo ni season la ne dorje nyom sing ni jore nyom ba ta te kar se ina ni nyom ba ta te ronya dunga mande pa to dewan de pa tejinda ani senche tonje jong ani dunga mande pa to ani dewan de bi ru ji pa yin ba ta nyom ba ta teni jire yes.
So as we touch a little bit on this in the week teachings. So as we understand that the meaning of this understanding this meaning of the exchange for the self of others. So the applying this method. So first of all, so we need to cultivate a sense of like equality of between oneself and all other sentient beings. And this equality is then is based on this our understanding that how just as how we are, as a persons, we are always, seek for happiness, and we do not want any sufferings. So in the same way, so we see all other sentient beings are also are no different from us in this regard. So that is the through this. So on the basis of the wanting happiness and not wanting sufferings, so we realize the equalities, that we realize, we understand that ourself and all other sentient beings are equals.
Tani izata ona ni doji nyo jes ne geology jore geology te karare sewa ina ni ronya dunga mande pato dewan di pi jinse de shin ronya la pi khaju ge tsewa shu chimbu ji yo de re de inza tani ge tsewa shu chimbu de yen seche to jela ka pa pone ni ronya la ni tsewa shu chimbu kasi ya pa de cheji ni senje la pa senje to jela pa kone ni tsewa shi pa de tere de ores ta mi pa ji lo e tere de ores.
So this the second the method which if we take into account of the full wording of that method, then it is actually it's called as a equalizing and exchanging the self for others. So we just I just mentioned about the meaning of these equalizings, what we understand in these contexts. And then there's a word in exchangings in this method, in this context. So this exchanging, what does that mean? So here we are talking about what does that mean is exchanging means like how in place, like right now, or at the moment, we all have this inborn kind of love towards ourself, towards I, towards self. So the exchange, the word exchange. So here, which we have to the applied or refer to exchanging that self, in whom we have so much, love, so much attachments. So we exchange that self with for others or with others. So and then when you do this, then the outcome or the result is that then we would have the mind of within us. Then we would have the mind of cherishing others rather than the mind of self-cherishing, which as we may possess now.
다 드리가 니 제와니 때 지올로게 진세 가르르잖아. 맞죠? 센딜라. 누가 만데 봐도 대원데 비 진세 텔라 때네. 네 론일 제와치. 디용기가 니피 론이 데비가 쳇다니 다 추네. 네다 소소 칼레잖아. 네 칼레피 쳇면 봐자 소소 그 데비 쳇던 되게 자죠래. 대노지 시와 토마메 보내 때 자대요래서. 아니 단다 제오지 말로 와이나 아니 마음발라 들이 있잖아 너네 아니다 아니 댕이 근처 그자 선발대 이래대요 단도 있나요 아니 다 롱 대화지 터요 말해서 단도에 먼저 자는 로와이나 아니 야 롱우지 터지 매월했다 댕이 자 선발대 하고 그래서
so now the reason, why we need to exchange, in the sense of like instead of the loving to all our attention, all our the focus of our care, and the love is instead of towards ourselves. Why we should have the other sentient beings. So now this reason is really, to understand the reason, then we have to look into our situation up until now, like in which we have, at the core of our heart, we always cherish it ourselves, and always not only cherishing ourselves, but we everything we do is all for that self, is all self-centered, is all for the self-purpose. And so when we look in that, all the hard works, the great amount of effort that we put in. So everything is really self-centered, is directed towards the interest of this self. And not only this, in this life, if you look at the our previous life and the life before and the before, so it's like immeasurable or the number of life we have been doing, and the question is, what we have achieved? Have we achieved the happiness, the ultimate happiness for the self or ourself? What we have achieved. And when we ask the question, then we understand that we have not achieved, not accomplished what we are looking for. So therefore, this is to indicate that if we have to change. We have to do this, change our focus, change our attention from the self towards the others. Or else, if we continue like that in the future, continue now and in the future, again, repeat the same, live the same life where our whole attention is towards the self-centered mind, and then and accordingly, action that we do is all directed towards the fulfilling the self. If you continue like that future, then we will simply won't achieve what we wanted. So this is the reason why. So we now we have to understand, need to exchange the focus of our love and our attentions.
제장아 맞아 센데는 라요 니레니레 소베노고 대화 의지우 도지요래 아니 다투 대화지우 도지요 다 대토지에 봐 된대래 되어래 대자 들리 토야 그 타시대 다 롤라 니 로냐 둥가만데 봐도 대화한테 비친 세텔라 때는 로냐라 저와 시춘부지체 대웅기 그 깔레무보지 자 유해나요 네 대토 턱메와데 다 맞췄다 하고 잘해서 제자 다데 세 지올로네 네 다 예를 제와시네 다 도토게 봐데 아니 다 맞춰 변체시잖아 네 템바셔졌다 와라서 봐 아니 도토요래 대인자네 다티고 이제 somba지게야 그 세나데 드리스
So, as far as what we seek in our life, then the immediate time frames. So we are talking about the some sort of pleasure, joy that we wish to have in our everyday life, and then of course we can also talk about the not just the everyday life, but happiness on everyday life, but also on the something which is lasting, everlasting happiness, which is also suddenly possible to achieve. So therefore, realizing that at the moment, even we have not achieved, we are not able to achieve the satisfy ourselves with this just a temporary pleasure, temporary joy and happiness, and then to realizing that this is all one of the main reason is because we are very because of the self-cherishing, holding this self-cherishing mind within us, self-centered mind within us. So therefore the if on the we are what we are trying to understand here is to if we, instead of self-cherishing mind, if we cultivate the mind of cherishing other being, and then to and utilize that mind cherishing mind as a main kind of force to drive our life, to drive everything that our actions and so on, then we can definitely then we can achieve the lasting happiness. So now, if we look at if we think of the who has achieved the lasting happiness, for instance, then we can for example the historical Lord Buddha, Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, so have achieved that lasting happiness, and it's because primarily because of his his generation of love and compassion for all other sentient beings.
다 원하는 senjel 제와 shegu에나 네 다 제와대우 네 진세 매바니 senjel 제와 용도고 말아. 대인자네 진세 몸보지고네 senje드니 아니 론론이라 까리쳐와지 son소나 아니 대우 진세 몸비고 돈에 지 son소나 아니 다 되냐 드니 진세 주마 용내 용데 로종 대와이나 아니 로지메 반다 네 제와 레딩이 시작이요 그래서
so how we going to, if we ask how we going to now cultivate a love and compassion for all other beings. So now so we need to engage in the training of. We need to train our mind, and so it is important to engage in the practice of the training. So where we applied the like intelligent mind and the reasoning of the intelligent mind, and through it, then we can, if we could cultivate not just even one or two reasoning, but through great many reasons, if we could show if we could understand the benefits or understand the reasons for showing love and compassion for others, so then that would be a way to go. Loss.
다 세제는 로라 니 가르치비 진제 지대니 니 센더 runyan 소와데 너 runya라니 대화시와다 니 저쪽 간가 아니 다 센델라 runyi 파마도 녜녜다 니스 드리체 니 전에 니 세제 몽보지 니 전에 runya니 네다 소와다 니 대쪽 가리라 되네 니 쉬와다 네 대노지거니 생하말 소노 도기나 아니 대노지거니 다 senje mongbola tene in shewa jini lende yore shewa lendi chalani pamado nyenye jini yede yore teza tani go ta nga ni jine mengo di kasala ni ma she su kasala ni ni ti kasala kar tewa no ji ji ane jangu yesares
so there are great many reasons to which we can think of why all other sentient beings deserve our love and compassion from us. So like for when we think for instance, in fact how we can understand our very survival of our life, and is actually and the sustaining of life is very much dependent upon others. And without depending on others, we would not have even survived. Such as like if not, we have depended on our, in terms of if we this current life, it is our parents who gave birth to our life. And then after birth, we have dependent upon, we have received enormous care and support from others, like ones, close, like relatives, close friends, and even for perhaps there are many strangers, through indirectly, have benefited us and made this life possible to survive. So we can think of so many. We can understand, logically understand how even in this life how we are so our life, even very living a life is so much. Our livelihood is so much dependent on the help and the supports of the others, and so in the same way now, if we take consider our past life, then as we have discussed in previously, so how every time we took a rebirth, we born from our mothers, and we had a mother, and then how as a mother, whoever that other sentient being who have given us a birth, then we can understand how much that have supported us, have shown care and affection to us. So in this way, we can, if you go back to the past, then we can understand the enormous care and the support that we receive from others, not once, but countless number of times. So lost.
다 니팔라 니 가르레 센디 대시 상마니 센젤라 때네 shum바지레 되어서 가리세나 페나가지 칼로 테마치 네가스라 아니 nje 감고지마스나 딘지 nje데 아니 땅이서 지피고네 세체 가세가 몽보지 전에 유어레서 대나지가 롤라 네 긴고 잘로 배제 동게 가르이나 아니 센제 가세 몽보지 전에 절네 대소라 때네 슈어레서 아나 딘지 소메고네 니 가르텐고 그래서
so how, like, just as our livelihood is totally dependent on others, and then we can also think of all the things, various things which give us pleasures, which give us happiness and joy, such as like food and so forth. So all these are also they come from other beings. If you think of even just a plate of rice, and how that is the come from the effort made by so many peoples, directly or indirectly, so many other beings are involved in that. So likewise, any item, anything that we can think of, which we find it very useful, very helpful to us in our life. So how all these are, if we think about it, these are all comes from others, so many other peoples, directly or indirectly. So.
제장아니 원아야지 롤 대화 도제 senjejine shunga yundu inaya ane sejet zolata ngal dewa te nyombikone koso ane ngal lekati chigoyo mare ngareyo peshote neta suzola gingola tsupa nyoyinyo ane teinza ne kosola ne zewa shikde munde nyomba tni yungo arisi inayo ta garsena rol pendu yena ane tela zewa shikipate ne jite chinya rawjis kaensena ane 소소로 긴고 잘로 저거 놀라 소소로 네 다제와도 소소로 팬도시 그냥 미끌어치도 요 말이 소소로 비제다야 잘로서 이내야 다 소소로 비제 진짜 tel라되네 소소가 tel라 자체 뭐지 소거도 와서 tela teneni karsekre pajo atingine kono mena ya ane sosol peto which is tela tene ni karichimbo imba sonko res.
So as much as possible, so we trying to apply our like a reasoning mind to understand that how it is it's important to recognize the kindness of the other beings, and so now then we may have raised a question that why we should feel grateful to others, because even though we understand that this whatever things, useful things that one may possess, or food that one eat, these are all comes from other, which is true. But at the same time, you can caution, but you have paid money for that. You have to buy for that, and also they didn't give to us with intentionally to help one or to benefit ones. Okay, so you can raise these issues, but however, the key thing is here is that the reason why we need to feel grateful, we should be appreciate the other beings, appreciate the help or the kindness of the other being. Is the reason is the reason is that whatever one have got it, which it is something, it gives a pleasure for oneself. It is something helpful for oneself. It's beneficial. So just on that ground, so we should be appreciating and acknowledging the kindness of the other beings. So so in this regard, like I gave an example last time how if we have some very useful and very valuable, very expensive objects, object like a precious object, then we would really hold that object and look after that object with great care, So even though when we think about that from the object because it's an inanimate object, it doesn't have any intentions to be helpful to one or to benefit one. So it's simply because you cherish, you hold that object so as very precious, because you acknowledge its value, its benefit for yourself.
Kateyo matoti kozo ngala ni karichimbo ina ngao kozo la karichimbo resrwa ani chezani ngani patinika karichimbo imba nyonjondi tenza ngekola sewashita shi chemgunyone ni sichiti yawando wa ina susuzulu ingone yawando wa ina ani runya kunle deshin juwi ta jete pi yawando wa to chepare deres karesena ye momboji sewa kase shewa 대전지 runila nyenye도 주보다 안에 ronla sem바강에 대조지고 모르는 거래 대 가세 몸보는 로스나 아니 소소라 대시주 아니 대가 제거니 모르는 로 이야와대 다른 가지고 이대 친연하고 쳐요 그래서
so that's that. And then now in here it is also possible that we may again argue that why you should bother to cherish other beings, on the fact that even though they are as we by through contemplating on what we've been talking before, that even though all the sentient beings have been kind to one, but then the same logic is also shows that equally you also being kind to them as well. So that means you it's equal. So why would you have to be feel kind, feel grateful to them? So if what they have done to one, what you have done to them are equal. So and so on the basis of that kind of logic, that kind of understanding, then if we may say if we neglect, if we ignore the value or the benefit, ignore the love, showing love and compassion towards others. So then what the consequences is that you are really distancing yourself from other beings, and which in fact, like when we think about it, like in reality, in truth, in our life, we can understand, we can see that how if we have more people who are showing friendship to us, who are supporting us, who come close to us, that means that we normally we would see that as a more source of happiness. It's more support for one's life, and so therefore is really from that angle, it's in a way that when we stop loving to other, and when we distant ourselves from others, so it's same as then we are avoiding or distancing ourselves from all the various things that brings us happiness, things that are true, that are important factor for the of bringing happiness and joy for one's life.
Da nga zu jinse yendo ji la nga zu zuma ni mo to bi yin wo je de yos ka se chen de rimbo ji wo de wa na ta lo ja la ji mo de yo ma ris de za di de wi di che la pan zu gang gan tombo ni shibo zo na an talon ji za de shi ji za wan talon sing de ris talon yo wa la ani lo so no do pa che wa ji ko ris de za ne jinse tela de ne yo ne ala so
and there's another thing, the reason or the contemplations which we might find it very effective to be more showing more love and compassion towards others. So is to really to thinking about the like the impermanence natures of all everything. So just being understanding that the sooner or later, so you will be anyway. Soon you will be separated. You will lose all those, peoples and other beings around you, and so on the basis of that. So while they are there, so you would try to be more the way you interact with them. So you're trying to be more positives, and so trying to be understand that the while you are with the others, while you are living in the societies. So what is the important for is one of the very important factors for the that will secure, that will bring create a good the environment, the joyful environment. So is the harmonies, creating harmonies, and so therefore the harmonies comes from from showing the sharing, love and the care and compassion towards each other. So in this way, that's another thing. Just to awareness of this impermanence, nature of all the things can be also very beneficial to us.
Oh yeah, that dona ani chonju yisen jwa tiche. Nta kond shepi gone jinsete tola. Jinsete to ni shipa zoma yimbo yune yunda. Sono to yune yunda ni lojong ko yesare. Mato ya ji mo shiwa zangji go ani chonju yisen la lojong sewa ta ni go yundu yesamare. What is?
So this about the points that I have made here. So this is something that we need to, of course, try to understand those meaning, and then after that we should then contemplate on that, not once but over and over again, and so in this way we can it is such a this understanding, this learning would have some sort of impact on one's mind.
Dona ane shenjule karsiyorsena mundo sheta chishigi shipa rong kitesheto tongu yenji teshin tenzepa dani ni chewa ti segor ta tendo karsiyorsena ta mumbo she gayo mares maro tsugani ru chenza chi wongi gane leka shewi tinjeu tedo temba chonde ji ye chenza chi shepi leka ni gunjeu tela ga chewa tela ti sene ane tani sungu yores.
So there is a verse from Shantideva's Bodhisattva's way of life. So if I quote, which says, "What more there is to talk? Just know the difference between a child and the Buddha in conducting their actions. So that the different, the child always direct their actions. The purpose of that, the child's action is for the selfish purpose, whereas the purpose of the Buddha's deeds is to benefit others. So then it's just understand this the difference between the two.
On tati would limit the Karasungun Sena, and it has shown you essential lojuma in Anda, and it temeta non jingas on Jang and Button Chesona, and it tell any Takade Kades check Yemede, and it wouldn't share this. So now, what follows after that? The verse that we did last time on the method of exchanging self for others. So is really what after that the text then goes further on the training ourselves in the meditation on this the bodhicittas, but with particularly with particular focus on the dealing with the various like the obstacles, obstacles that we face in our practice. What you want me doing Sawachena? Ne Saton de Chemuki, Doki, Nose, Toche, Truco, Trutun Junayan, Litu Luce, Dis Gavano, Delamo, Jaselo Le Yinsine, and Tinichi to this.
So the verse 12, so which read, from the text, the 37 practices of Bodhisattvas. So even if someone out of strong desires steals all your wealth or has it stolen, so dedicate to him your body, possession, and your virtue, past, present, and future. So this is the practice of Bodhisattvas.
아니 소싱이네 니따도 조강가 콜 때와 마세 아니 소싱이 리루시가 게사 아니 디스소피 게사 소마요 니따 코 소지위시다 아니 배워쇼스네 멜로자 아니 드니고 모아서 그래스네 시디가 텐트니 싱고레스
So in this the verse so which is saying that how if any other beings who out of strong desires, who's out of strong desires or out of strong selfish mind, so if out of that mind, so if they come and steal your things, or either they steal your thing by themselves, or they hire some other being to steal thing from you. So it's saying here, sing for you. Then, when in such incidents, then how one should what one should practice is to not only one should let them have this, and not only let them have that thing, but in addition, one should also think of at least one should pray and to dedicate that may one be even able to, not only one can let go of that stolen things, but even one will be able to give one's own body, all one's possessions, and all one's virtues, to that beings.
Teota, mazo yundi ga tsomba po, jase, anu ngachi tome zombo korayon ni, nandi ga nyole nune, nimachi ta kuzo chudena ko chiga ni ko chishe gala ni dende shudi sala, ni ki chini tel chide she, ni mayon di sala chudene ni kozo la ta mbuwa pune, ni ta tezi chalo tawo tana saya riga ni mambuji pyu isa, ta ko mayon so nal mayon lo yundu sala, ni langa parane ni chapachi tu bares, chapatu tsuga ni kosane ta kyugum bowa tsu chom techi di sala ni ta kyugum bowa tsu maa tene ni ndewo kasu ni chaso pate di mase ta chapatu tsu la kare la warse na chirang tsu ngay maa yung saka longa tani ea maa rosu chirang longa pashu ni ju maa to ni ngay maa yung sana yaan rowa ina chumba te jane rogo wa isa ni chumba te ka chirang tsu ngi chalo te ngo shi so na chirang tsu nyanga te si warese di yin tsa ni chirang tsu kone ju yu se ne ani tanji ka thala tene ani ta jase ka shewa te nyawasa lenga yo resa ta.
So what is the mention in this verse? So it's something which this author of this text, this great text, which Bodhisattva or the Geshe Tongme, who himself have actually put this into practice. So what is said here, he's a testimony to all this. His practice is a testimony to all this verse. So, like for example, in his there's a one case, there's a one time where this Geshe Thomas, who was returning, from some a ritual service to some home in a town, some place in a town, and so he's got all the some offerings of the things which the households have offered to him, but then on the way, some group of a thief, they attacked him and then stole his things that he was given to him, and then however the Geshe Thomas then said to that, okay, you can not only you can have what you have taken from me, but you can also have these things. There are some other things which they haven't taken, but has been which was also offered. Have all of these things as well. Take all these things, and then also he advised them that make sure that you don't take the route where I come from, because don't go towards the direction where that town is, because he said that people might recognize these items which was offered to him, so he show you go that way. So these are the kind of the example. What is said here is really the sharing. The author is really sharing his own the practices that he did during his life.
아니 다 맞좀 배 맞주는 다 못 보세 배 노지 아니 팔람 배지 말로는 담패나 원담 같은 별 보고 말아 된 노지가 소소 생힘이 그 레지 쏘면은 다다 그마트 주고 소소소 잘랑 투바 용고 말아 대인자다 또 지금 투바되고 소소 생힘이 그 셰비 레레에서네 아니 다 생힘이 그 셰비 블레서 세소 냠비거니 아 비가고 거야 아니 드니 녀내서 그거래세 어떤 이유죠 this
and also to in here we should think that whenever any adverse a situation happen in one's life, then to recognize that there's a cause to this situation to happen, and one of the important cause is the one's own karma, one's own actions, that karma or the action that karmic actions that one have created in the past. So therefore, we have to understand that if one has not created that karma, then to this event wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. So just as there's the example of for archer to release before releasing the arrow, there must be a target. If there's no target, he won't release the arrow. So therefore, to recognize also that this is all because of the karmic action that one created, is also to these adverse things are happenings. So we leave here with the good night to everyone. Thank you.
제와 냠바 매파요 고네 고도